Okay. Hi everyone, this is Ari in the Air. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I've got you in my kitchen, a place I spend a lot of time, and I think that my kitchen is one of the places that really powers my paragliding. It's one of the reasons that I'm able to fly as well as I do, and so I focus on my paragliding nutrition a lot, and I figured today I would give you a look into what it is that I eat on any given day that I'm looking to fly cross country, have a big day of paragliding, and hopefully it's helpful for you. So the first thing, what I'm gonna show you today is what I have for breakfast, which is a smoothie. And then I'm gonna show you what I have for lunch, which is something I eat on launch right before I launch my paraglider. And then I'm gonna show you what I prepare to eat in flight. And I'm also gonna show you what I take in my harness so that when I land, I have food. This is something that I've developed over the years, and I didn't always have a system like this that was robust, that supported me in a big day of flying. So I hope that this is helpful for you. So to start, I'm gonna make a banana strawberry smoothie, and it's gonna look like this. It's gonna be 2 bananas into the Vitamix. I'm also gonna do a tablespoon of organic extra virgin coconut oil. I have chaga mushroom powder that I harvested in Maine myself. I'm gonna probably do like a teaspoon or 2 of that. I also have premium organic matcha powder. If you're gonna do caffeine in the morning, you should do matcha. It's the best paragliding caffeine that there is. Your other best option is mate. Mate is a bit stronger, but matcha has all kinds of minerals, antioxidants, and stuff that are really good for you. Today I've already had my coffee, so I'm not gonna actually put matcha in my smoothie, but it's really good in smoothies. And the best paragliding caffeine you can have. The next thing is raw organic cacao nibs. This makes it just there's so many minerals in there, it's crazy. Okay. We go to the organic whole strawberries. Like a handful of those, maybe 10 of them. Last but not least, I'm gonna add probably something on the range of about 400 to 500 calories worth of peanut butter. You can also use almond butter. You can also use cashew butter. You can use any nut butter that's protein rich and that you like the taste of. I typically make my own peanut butter. This is just a jar that I use over and over. I make my peanut butter here in this here Vitamix, which is a tool that I can't live without. Okay, then I use warm water. If you think about your digestion in a chemistry sense, putting cold things onto my digestion is like throwing water onto the fire. So I make warm smoothies. It's very hydrating. I use a lot of water. It's very hydrating, which my hydration is so critically important. Paragliding is so drying. All the wind and the altitude and the sun and the wind and the wind and the wind, it just dries me out. So I do everything I can to stay hydrated. I drink a lot of water in flight. I have a hydrating smoothie in the morning that's warm. So, that's my smoothie. It's also really easy to use a mason jar with a lid to take this to go if you've got a long drive to launch or something. Real easy. So, the next thing I will show you is what I take to fly, to eat while I fly. That's typically at least 2 bars. I try to find the bars that have the lowest amount of sugar and the highest amount of calories. These ones are okay, they're organic, they're nut butter filled, they taste really good. And I always eat an apple in flight. So I have at least 2 bars, usually 3. and an apple. That's what I eat in flight. Always the apple first. That's at usually about 90 minutes or between 90 minutes and 2 hours into my flight because I have eaten my lunch just before that. I'm gonna make the lunch here in just a second, but I'll show you what I carry in my harness so that when I land I have food. What I think is important about the food that you carry in your harness is that one, it's like not really perishable because sometimes you bomb out and you don't need it. And so to have it be something that's ready for the next day if you don't use it is something that I really like. I also want it to be something that doesn't go bad if it gets hot because obviously we paraglide in the summer and here in the American West it can be 105 degrees on the ground. So something that doesn't rot or go bad is really important. You don't want to give yourself food sickness because you've eaten your thing that went bad. I've literally done that. So what I go with is dried fruit, like dried mangoes, and today I have dried apricots. And nuts. So nuts are just incredibly calorie dense. So the dried apricot, I just put them into a bag, and then into it I also put the nuts. And so with something like the dried apricots, I use these like mesquite smoke seasoned almonds. I really like the sweet and savory, and these have a ton of salt. I always carry like 6 liters of water when I paraglide, so if I land out, what I really need is water and salt and calories. So this is the salt and calories. I got the water in my bag. The apricots just make it all go down so nice. These have 180 calories per quarter cup, so I'm probably gonna do about a cup of these, which is a ton of calories. That'll hike your ass out of somewhere really deep. So sometimes I do dried mango, sometimes I do dried apple. Sometimes I add like these like energy balls, which are like dates and sunflower seeds and that kind of thing. But all of it non-perishable, all of it really calorie dense, all of it high in salt. That's what's important to me when I land out. Okay, for the lunch. For my lunch, before I launch, I typically like to eat what is either a sandwich or a wrap. Today I will use these flourless sprouted Ezekiel wraps that I really like. I have butternut squash that I pan roasted last night. I have hummus that I made here at home in the Vitamix, and I have this organic Dutch goat Gouda. Oh, it's so good. So I'll basically make myself a quesadilla, I'll make myself a wrap. Sometimes I'll make myself a sandwich to mix it up, and I'll eat that just right on launch before I go into the sky. That way I'm flying with a full belly and I have lots of water. I usually, on big flying days, I add lots of salt because hydration is so important. I also fly, oh, I haven't told you about that. I think it's actually in my flying kit right now, but it's like a Noon or a salt stick. It's a hydration tablet, so it's like whatever you would put in your water that fizzes up that like makes it an electrolyte drink. I fly with those, and a lot of times, especially on a long flight, eating in a bar and drinking a bunch of water won't do it for me, and I still feel like I need something. Salt tablets have been just such a godsend for me. So I eat electrolyte tabs or like a Noon that is fizzy. I really love to put those in my mouth and just kind of suck on them and let them like fizz like they're a pop rock in my mouth. It's very entertaining and they taste great. So that's another part of the flying kit that I think is really important. But I'm gonna just let you imagine what a quesadilla with hummus, butternut squash, and goat cheese looks like. I also use green salsa on that, yum, yum, yum. And yeah, that's pretty much what I eat on a given day. I always encourage people to prioritize and splurge on what they eat. Eat really good food, eat organic food, eat whole foods, learn to cook, learn to care for yourself so that you can care for other people. It's also fun to cook. So I hope this is helpful. If you like what I'm doing here, and you get something out of these videos, great. I am making them for that reason. I'm trying to give back to the paragliding community. If you want to support my mission here, consider going to Patreon, patreon.com/airintheair. The link is in the description below. And consider supporting me for as little as $5 a month. Just buy me a beer after our monthly paragliding flight. And that really helps. I appreciate everyone who's done that. So thanks for watching. See you on the next episode.